Carl Hybo, welcome. Congratulations to you and your team for being finalists in the CEO Awards.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We are glad to be here.
Yeah, no, very happy to have you here. And we wanted to learn about the project from Performance Products. And I asked the same question of every project team. What's your project about?
Sure. It's bringing a polyetheramine to a customer that was challenged in the fuel additive market. And it's a technology that we already had been used in the market some, and this customer was a little bit behind the eight ball on that. So we saw that challenge with them, partnered with them, and formulated something from them that would work specific in their application and get them back into the game and more competitive.
This partner, you probably can't mention the name of the partner, which is okay, but how did that relationship develop? So it sounds like there's a bit of a partnership. There's a relation. How did that get fostered? How did that develop?
Well, we've already had a relationship with them for several years on various part of our product portfolio. But in this case, we were successful with this broad technology in other applications where they were competing in the market with other companies. And so knowing Huntsman, knowing what our skill set is, and I think a unique thing here, well, too, and Hybo can dive into that a little further, they had looked at this technology years before and were unsuccessful and had scrapped it. And because we had the relationship and whatnot with them, we came back in a partner. We were trusted, and they said, you guys need to look at this. And this is something to dive a little deeper in and relook at it, and I think it could solve some of your market problems that you have. But Hypo, I think from a technology standpoint, how did we kind of get them, I guess, more rolling with that?
Yeah.
Yes, so our customer test of one of our offshore products, not specifically designed for these applications. So they feel disappointed in the first place. And later on, we told them that our polyetheramine can be tailor-made for these particular applications. We showed them all the open literatures, patent literatures, published papers, conference proceedings. We convinced them to work with us. So during this joint efforts, we sent and tested more than 20 polyetheramine samples. And eventually we find the one that works best for them, have very, very efficient to remove and keep the engine parts clean. And also, the cost is very effective, and it's also we solve the registration issues.
Mm-hmm. So, do you think that the being a trusted partner and having that relationship with this customer meant that even though in the past maybe we didn't have a solution in the past, but we could still work and come up with a solution and come back and say, hey, we worked on this and now we think we've got something that can actually address your issue and your problem.
Yeah, absolutely. And just a little more on that partnership. So we kind of needed each other to be successful with this. So they didn't have a mastermind like Hybo to come in with and do the molecule formulation for them. But they knew what the requirements were. They knew what their gaps were in the market. They also didn't have, but they, again, didn't have that resource. So we brought that to them from a technology standpoint. And as Hybo said, there was 20 different samples. They validated it. They proved what would work and saw where they could maybe apply this in their product platforms. The second piece was we had the manufacturing know-how. Yes. And they didn't have the capital and whatnot to invest in that. And so we brought that to the table, too. We can also make this for them.
Yeah, we thought that this is a perfect marriage between two companies, and so we can offer our molecule bending like a capability. We can offer a manufacturer expertise, and they come to the table with the testing expertise and also the channel to the market. So it turns out a great success when we work together.
Yeah. So they had a need. We were able to fill it, and we were able to grow with them.
And continue growing. This is not a one and done.
Yeah.
So there are platforms that they roll out and even applications that they roll out, from like an initial would be kind of like a bottle market way to go into it with a consumer into the fuel additives, but then that expands on into the pump market. Right. And so which just grows and grows, and we're not done yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. At a cost point, so we expect that the volume can keep growing during the future, and through this great successful examples, and the door is open for our Huntsman for us, so we can go back to participate in the other co-development projects. So that's a huge opportunity for us for the future.
Right. So molecule bending. Okay, now when I hear that, I think of somebody taking a piece of steel and going, and just.
Yes.
So what is it? Without getting too technical, because I'm only going to understand so much, but what is bending a molecule? What does that look like?
So in academic term, we call that organic synthesis.
Okay.
So in chemistry, so you basically arrange carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen atoms in the molecules, so make it a function component that our customer can use.
Okay. And you're just taking that and...
Yes, so you have to deeply understand organic chemistries, and you also need to have assets to practice that molecule bending capability.
Right, and that's where our partnership comes in, where we not only have the know-how, but we've got the ability to test that and prove that we actually know how to bend those molecules.
Yes, so we brought to the table is a molecule bending capability, and we also have a lot of knowledge on the structure and performance relationship. What kind of organic molecule structure will corresponding what kind of performance you will get, and our customer, they have strong testing capabilities from the bench, from the engine, from the fleet vehicles, so they can also have a strong channel to take the molecule to the commercial success.
Right. So with all of our development and then all of their testing, what was the biggest challenge about finding this solution for our customer? I'm sure there were many challenges. There always are with any effort. But what was the biggest challenge that you had meeting this customer need, and then how did you overcome that challenge?
Yes. So the one of the biggest challenge we had with this customer is the trust in the first place, because they don't get a good experience with one of our off-shelf material. They tested and it doesn't meet their expectations, and so they thought that this kind of type of chemistry may not work for their purpose. So we have to go back and convince our customer to work with us to do a customized development for their applications.
And so it was about, look, we didn't quite meet your needs the first time, but we didn't give up. We went back.
Exactly.
We went back and looked at the chemistry, and we came back with a solution that works.
Yes. So we have to come back with a solid evidence. So that's why publishing papers, patents, conference proceedings, and so we have all this kind of solid evidence to prove that our chemistry will work in your application.
And this was a multi-year process. This just didn't happen overnight. And remember when I said earlier on, they had tried this before and had a bad taste in their mouth, scrapped it for almost a decade. But we came in, we have the mastermind of IBO here who can prove that to them through the data and what they're looking at from a technical perspective. And then our partnership win is they're the avenue to market with the all their customers and marketing it and where the applications make sense.
Yeah, in this joint efforts, our marketing, our sales folks really lead the success, and so without them, and this project will never happen. So they always, there's some kind of the relationship management. Sometimes they have hiccups, and both companies kind of have different views. So that's the relationship management is so important for this joint development.
So one final question then. I mean, what lessons did your team draw from this experience, and what are you going to take moving forward?
Yeah, I think a couple of things. Number one, it was a good partnership even internally. So once the technical side and HIBU of all that had proven and we proved it would work, then we took it to our side of the commercial side of building building a package and an agreement that would work for them multi-years moving forward. So I think one of the learnings is it's a great bridge in how that works. Prove it works technically. And then, when you're there, take it to the next stage of then what's that long-term plan to keep this rolling with them on a commercial basis. And there's checks and balances, and there's ways we can come back to keep them market competitive. So I think the big thing is looking at that whole package with it. This is also a strategic customer globally beyond just this product. So it's how does this weigh into building that relationship for the future steps and whatnot for the whole portfolio of what we're looking at with this customer. It's one of our strategic customers from that perspective and a strategic market for us. So it's not looking at this just in the piece of this one product, this one project, but it's also this is a critical piece to building that rapport and paving the way for future development down the road. There will be another challenge like this, and we've proven ourselves through this, one of their biggest ones, and made it work for them.
Great. Well, thank you very much for sharing the success that you had with our customer and not giving up. It didn't work the first time. You go back, you make it work, you build that trust, and now you've got a great relationship with the customer that you can build on.
And I think a long road to success is en route.
Great.
Yeah, we thought we're going to win more business from this customer down the road. So because we have these excellent examples, down the road, the engine technology will change, will advance, and the different fuel will be used, like ethanol fuel is going to be used. So the fuel additive package will be changed. They will need a new component down the road, and that's opportunity for both companies.
Great.
So I will be flexing his strength in molecule bending.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Carl. Thank you, Haibo, very much, and congratulations
All right,
again on being
thank you.
finalists.
Thank
All
you.
right.